We're here this morning, we're going to talk about someone in the Bible named Joseph. Now, Joseph was a young man who was there in his homeland, and his father had sent him out to the brothers that he had. He had 11 brothers, and the brothers were in the field, and they were tending the sheep, and his father had sent him out there to see them. And they were conspiring to kill him because Joseph had a dream that in his dream the stars, the moon, and the moon and the sun and the 11 stars were bowing down to him. And so his mother and father said, "Oh, so you're going to rule over us," Dad said. But anyway, to make a long story short, his brothers were upset with that, and they conspired to kill him. And his father had made him a beautiful coat. And Joseph, can you come out here, young man? Come on out here. So here we have the coat of many colors you can see to represent. You guys all see that? And then turn around this way so they can see it, Joseph. All right, then turn back around. And so his brothers then had conspired to kill him. Let me send it back over there now. And matter of fact, you can even take it off. And so, anyway, one of his brothers says, "Oh no, let's don't kill him." And they throw him in a pit, and they sold him to some slave traders. And he was taken down to Egypt and was a slave in Potiphar's house. And then Potiphar's wife wanted to be with him, but he ran away. And we have to remember to run from sin. And so then the story goes on that the brothers brought the coat back to their dad and said, "See, someone has gotten our brother Joseph, and the animals have torn him up. See, the coat's all messed up and everything, right? And someone has torn up our brother." That's what they went back and told their dad. That someone had destroyed their brother, and not them. They didn't tell their dad the truth. We should always tell the truth. We need to remember that. But they lied to their father and said somebody destroyed them when it was them that was doing it. And so, anyway, Joseph was a slave down there in Potiphar's house, and he ran from sin. And then he went to jail, he was in prison, because he was honest and upright. And God blessed him in prison. And then he came out of prison. And you read the story there. And after he came out of prison, he became second in command of all the land because he had wisdom. Wisdom comes from God. It comes from God alone. Wise men serve God. Wise men today still seek Jesus Christ. They don't seek anyone else. And so then what happened, there was a famine in the land, and all of Joseph's brothers came to Egypt to buy grain and things for him. And you know what? You can read the story more. Joseph then gave bread and food to his family, and he fed them. And then he says, "You know what? I now understand," I'm telling you the short version, "that all these things happen so God can save our family." So remember, maybe some people in your family may call your name because you follow God, but remember, maybe God has you in that position so you can lead your family to Jesus. So Joseph is a type pointing us to Jesus, how he loved his family. Can you imagine your family throwing you a pit, almost into a pit in the ground? What it was a pit where they would hold the water, and it was a mud hole, and he was thrown in there. And he was left to die. And then one of them said, "Oh no, we'll save him." And then they sold him to slavery. There are young kids that are being sold to slavery today. We need to pray for them and help them. And so, after all his family had done this, and then he was a slave down there in Egypt, and he was obeying God, and he went to prison for obeying God. But you know what? He kept being obedient to God and not compromising. So God doesn't want us to compromise. Can we remember that? No compromising. We're going to be people who don't compromise. So we have to put all our faith and trust in God and obey Him. And the end result in obeying God is you win. Joseph won. But what happened in his life? He always obeyed God. But can we remember that? Always obey God. That's what he said. Always obey God. Always obey God. Always obey God. So let's always obey God, and we'll win.